Good morning. Monday, July 12th. Ready for another week. We get a 5 day week this week. Last week we got cut short with the holiday. So we only got 4 days in, but should be pretty exciting. I'm expecting some big things. I'm thinking we're gonna see some turnaround this week. That's just my speculation. We'll start going over all the stocks right now. Yeah, if you didn't get a chance to last night, we had a video. It was pretty long too. I think we went 2 hours, but we had the CLOV roundtable, part two, and it was myself, Tar Heel, Michael from Target Short Sellers, all the way from Belgium. He had some pretty good insight into the naked short selling and what's going on with CLOV right now. And then we also had Al from Al Trades. So it was pretty fun. We had four people on there, and we are going to continue to do that again too. Um, I think Tar Heel might be hosting the next one, but it's scheduled for 2 weeks from now, and hopefully we'll get some new people on the channel too. Get some new guests and new people on there talking. And the coolest thing about last night was just everyone has a different perspective. And everyone has something kind of different to offer. So that's why I think the more people we can get in there, um, the more fun it'll be, and the better that round table will end up being. Just looking around the markets, I see co-creator and SRT are already in here. Um, right on. Actually, where'd my phone go? Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry. I was looking to see if you responded to that email yet. I'm gonna go ahead and add you in there right now while we're getting started. Gotta figure out how to do this. All right, I think it's done. So I just SRT. I think I just made you a mod of the chat. Thank you too. I appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Michael, thanks for stopping back in. Um, hey Ingram, thanks for joining us. All right, so I'm gonna go over just kind of all these stocks. I feel like there's so many of them now. Um, that I'm watching, and it's only five, but it gets rough, to try to keep up on everything. My two major plays are still Clove and GameStop, but I do have some other ones that I've been kind of rolling with, and then space. I mean, that's one that I never got into. So actually, before I even get started, with space, Virgin Galactic, I had been saying all week I wanted to get in and grab some calls before the end of the day Friday, and then I left to go camping. And once we got up there, it was right around noon, and I went to go grab my phone. I was gonna try to just grab maybe one or two calls on space just so that I had a little lotto ticket in case the flight was successful. The flight was successful on Sunday, but what I was getting at was I had absolutely zero service. I mean, I couldn't even, I could barely send text messages. I was trying to log in. So, long story short, I never got in on the Virgin Galactic ride. Um, but I'm still going to be watching it today because I do know that some of you guys did, a lot of you guys did, from what I saw in the chat, and even some messages I got from people. So we'll be keeping an eye out on space today too. Um, let's see. So first up, I wanted to talk about AVXL. Like I said, I had no service on Friday, so I actually did not see this run up. It looks like it went up and touched 28.26 intraday on Friday. Um, and then right around that time, I was trying to figure out what was up with the big drop. And my buddy Colin actually sent a text message that did go through. It looked like there was an article that got released somewhere during that run up, um, that there was a federal probe. I want to say it was against BIIB. That's another stock that's in kind of that same sector. You know, looking into Alzheimer's and some of those drugs to help prevent those or cure those. And they're going under federal probe. So when that got announced and that report got put out, a lot of the other stocks that kind of also in that Alzheimer's, Tourette's, all that kind of stuff that are looking into those same type of drugs, all took a hit all around the same time, is what I gathered from the article that I read. But I'm still expecting AVXL to pop. I mean, not only fundamentally what they're doing, but from a technical standpoint too. I mean, this is a beautiful chart, and I really think that this stock's going to continue to run. I'm still holding on to that position that I got jumped back into when we fell back down to 25. Um, what was this on the 29th? So at the end of June, and I'm expecting it to get up here and test these highs and really start running. Analyst projections on this stock, on the low end are at 25 where we're trading now, but the average is 36. So I think this stock has a lot of room to move, and some as high as 50. So AVXL one, I'm still in heavy. Uh, BNGO, I haven't seen any real news other than last week. There was that article that they were getting mentioned in two different peer-reviewed journals, having to do with their genome mapping, and we have seen two kind of green days in a row, up a little bit in pre-market, nothing much though. But there was an analyst upgrade on BNGO that just, I want to say, either happened on Friday or potentially this morning when I was looking at the news. And as you can see, same thing. They're trading way under value right now. I mean, not anything similar to what CLOV is, but this is a different type of company. Um, on the low end, 10, on the high end now, 14. So again, BNGO is a play that little mini catalyst almost every day. It seems like they have this positive news coming out with their Sapphire system, and as they get it into more labs. But I think it's going to get up here and try to test this 15 at some point. I have some longer term options, and then I also bought some August 20th, which aren't looking too hot right now. Just checking out the chat. Ego, thanks for joining. Says fuel up your rockets. Clark, what's up? Oh, I gotta move this. I'm used to having it down here on my stream, but I moved it yesterday for the round table. All right, there we go. Michael says, I'm surprised space isn't booming in pre-market. Yeah, me too. I actually have that. I'm gonna try to get to it before we open up. But I mean, even just the social sentiment, like on Wall Street Bets, I was really catching up on Reddit yesterday, after being out of town for 3 days. And I mean, it seemed like every other post was about space. I was expecting it to open up pre-market at like 60, $70, and then maybe fall down a little from there. But we might see the opposite. Here, you know what? We'll just get right into space since we're talking about it right now. But it did peak up to $60 right at 1 a.m. Which I think was, kind of that buying that everybody was expecting, but most people can't trade until 4, which I think everybody should be allowed to trade at the same time. Like I can't trade anything at 1 a.m. on the West Coast. I have to wait until over here at 4 o'clock. I mean, I don't usually trade early anyways, but we did see a lot of volume. What was the volume at? 276,000. That's actually not too much. It is for pre-market, but um, yeah, it got up and touched $60 this morning. So, and then fell right back down. My suspicion, I mean, just on this, I mean, it's already seeing 10 million volume this morning, which actually is a lot. Um, I have a feeling that, all right, it went up and touched 60. It's trading lower right now. It's only up 1% right now. It may even come down and touch where it left off on Friday, but I think this thing's going to rally this morning. I really do. Again, I don't have a position in it. And not only did I not buy any on Friday. I never transfer money in either, so I'm not. It's not like I have any cash coming in to throw at it this morning either. So I'll just be sitting back watching. But I think this thing's gonna rally today. Maybe get up to like 60-ish, 65-ish. Maybe even rally over the next 3 days. That seems to be what happens every time they have these positive catalysts. And then maybe fall back down to a new base. And I kind of feel like 50 might be its new base. Um, if anyone's unfamiliar with the stock, Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson just did a flight and actually um, went to space on Sunday, yesterday. And they've already got FAA approval to do commercial space flights. And they are the first to do it right now, unless I'm wrong on that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. SRT saw an article that said space current price already had pricing built in on successful flight. Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of times that's part of it. You know, people it'll price in, and then if the flight's unsuccessful, it'll fall. If the flight's successful, it should trade flat. But I just think that the social sentiment behind it, there's just been so much talk about space leading up to this that I think today you're going to see a huge increase. And space was a heavily shorted stock too. I don't know what its Ortex data is right now. We'll look that up too. But you know, that was a stock that had high short interest and kind of, you know, saw somewhat of a little short squeeze a couple times recently. So um, I wouldn't be, because this is a short seller favorite, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts running into a lot of sell walls and that sort of stuff as new shorts start to pile in at the higher prices. But let's see. I'm trying to get the Ortex up on this. There we go. All right. We're looking at 20% of the free float, 19% on loan. Yeah, doesn't really look like it's heavily shorted right now. All right. Do you think Clove and other meme stocks will be held to low levels until August 15th or later? Is there something significant about the August 15th date? I might be missing something there. I know August 20th is a big expiration date. But I don't know anything about the 15th. I may have missed an article or something, but I don't think it's necessarily. I mean, just my own speculation. I think a lot of this just has to do with like the cost to borrow and you know it getting more expensive for short sellers in a lot of these. And I do think that a lot of the memes are all going to keep popping at the same time. Um, you know, it just takes one to kind of put that pressure on, and then people start unwinding positions, and we'll start to see some movement. Justin says, was Clove downgraded? I don't believe so, unless I don't. You know, with these heavily manipulated ones like Clove, um, yeah, Clover Health trades flat despite second bearish call with JPM. The thing is, um, you know, with a lot of these analysts, sometimes, you know, I think they're there to manipulate the stocks too. You know, and I think a lot of these downgrades we're seeing. How could you downgrade a stock that's trading at $9? You know, when all the similar companies, not even talking about Clover Assistant, but just the other similar companies in the Medicare industry, um, are trading at much higher valuations and much larger market caps. And Clove actually has a significant hold of the market share. And they just doubled their geographic footprint. And I mean, the new hires and just everything all the positive stuff. And then you see an analyst come out and downgrade the stock. Wouldn't be surprised if they're short the stock or in bed with somebody that is. Keith, what's up? Good morning. Let's see here. Derman's got some space calls. Oh, and some puts. Yeah, I wouldn't see that being, you know, like honestly, just a way to kind of play this. I wouldn't be surprised if space takes off early, this week, you know, if I had some cash on hand right now, I'd probably buy some calls at the open and try to cut them when it runs up to about 60, 65. Um, obviously, I think this thing could even move upwards of 100 this week, but just the pre-market action right now tells me that it's probably not going to hit that high, but maybe it runs up to 60, 65, and then dump the calls and turn around and get some puts to ride it back to 50. Because I do think 50 is going to be kind of the new base. I don't know if it'll fall back to 50 this Friday. I have no idea. Um, would be interesting to see what the max pain on space is before we keep moving. And oh yeah, the market makers aren't gonna get that one. So it looks like max pain this week is $40 on space. I don't see it falling back to 40, although that would line up with now I'm getting all over the place. But that would line up with that gap fill if it was to happen. If I recall correctly, we had a gap fill right here down to 41.37. But I don't. I think there's too much overall hype in this stock right now. I think it's gonna fly this morning, and like I said, it's already got 10 million volume in pre-market. All right, let's go GameStop. Not a lot going on there. Um, and I normally don't talk too much about GameStop, I feel like, anymore, because after 6-7 months of this, it's just kind of become numbing. And you just you just kind of wait, and I'm holding on to my shares and waiting for the next pop. But just zooming out, I don't even think TA applies to this stock anymore. I was going to try to maybe find some lines on here or something where it's touching a bottom or anything, but man, I don't know. I mean, this week is the week of the NFT or crypto. I don't know what it's called. Like, it's almost like a born on date, or the day that it's expected to launch based off what they found on the blockchain for it. But the company hasn't announced anything yet, so it could be a big nothing burger, or it could be that we get some positive, something coming from the company that gets the juices flowing and gets people jumping back into this stock, or gets this thing running again. But we'll just kind of sit back and see. They did open a huge fulfillment center in Reno, but no other news since then. Yeah, co-creator. That's right. So I did put, there is an official Discord now for the CLOV subreddit. The other one, I thought it already was official. I didn't really realize until we started talking about them doing the official one last week. But there's the official CLOV Discord for the CLOV subreddit, and that link is down in the description box of this video. So if anyone wants to go on there and join, also join the CLOV subreddit as well. Um, Absolutely, SRT. Feel like these downgrades are just manipulation. All right, so let's see here. Let's keep moving. I want to get to, because it's almost time for market open. The other stock that I'm in is ATOS right now. Um, and it's kind of just holding right around this 550 mark, which is where I kind of feel like is the max pain, or kind of that's that real tipping point. Max pain wasn't reported on swaggy stocks on this stock, so I couldn't get the actual number. But I actually think it's a lot higher than that, or lower than that. If you look at the options chain, and again, this wasn't updated, but this play that I'm on with ATOS is purely based off the option chain and the ability for a gamma squeeze this Friday. So I bought some calls, but I mean, the calls outweigh puts all the way through. So I don't even think 550 is max pain. I just think 550 might be a breaking point for the market makers, because it seems like they've been trying to pin the stock down right there. And it does look like we just got an update. So the option chain is updated now. So if we take a look, um, 21,000 over 18 at the $4 strike. That's about a 3,000 difference. The 11 or the 350 strike is 11 over 8. So a lot of this has already been hedged, but when we get down to 450, we have 16,000 over 14, not huge. $5 strike, 30 over 16, and that's only a 0.65 delta. So we'll kind of start there. That's 14,000 call contracts, which equates to basically 1.4 million shares. And if we can hold above 5, just the delta alone on this, that's about 35% of those 1.4 million shares are still going to need to be hedged throughout this week, which could push us above 5.5. And now we have 16,000 differential there. If we hold above 550, that's another 49% of, you know, what, 1.5 million, so almost 700,000 shares that would need to be purchased, which would essentially push us up. And as we move higher, this is where it gets crazy. 34,000 versus 8. So a 26,000 net difference. That's 2.6 million shares. Here we have a 53,000 differential at the 750 strike and a 55,000 differential at the 9 strike. And this just keeps on rolling all the way past 12. I really think if this does kick off, this gamma squeeze, we're going to see this stock shoot up to like 25 bucks. So nothing's really changed there except for more open interest on the option chain, and the ability for a gamma squeeze still exists in this stock. It's just a matter of somebody coming in and pushing the stock up. Maybe I would say maybe a buck from where it's at now, and I think this thing will kick off. So keeping an eye on ATOS for sure. Let's see here. Let's get it. We already talked about space. Again, I'm not in on space. It's just one that I'm keeping an eye on. But let's get to CLOV. We got 6 minutes before the market opens. Kind of take a look at CLOV, and then we'll jump back and kind of get an update of everything. But on the daily chart, obviously we've been seeing a ton of red. Looks like 9's the new number we want to hold above. Max pain for this week is 11 bucks, so it's lowered a little bit. That's where they're going to try to keep us pinned to. If we take a look at the Ortex data on CLOV, if I can get this up here. All right. So right now, this is our starting point on the day, 53.81 million. This is basically how it closed on Friday. And let's see, utilization was still at 100. Percent of float on loan was 47%. So an estimated short interest 35. This is where we closed Friday. In terms of an update today, it seems like 7 million shares were returned, but an additional 5.3 million were borrowed. Net difference of 1.9 million. So seems like shares are getting returned a little bit right now, but utilization's still high, and not a huge major change in the short interest. So we'll have to see how that goes. I know iBorrowDesk was reporting 3.4 million returned, but Ortex still had a ton of shares out on loan. So just keep in mind, iBorrowDesk is only getting their information from one company, one lender. So as of today, cost to borrow, even on iBorrowDesk, is still extremely high, 20%. And it does look like 1.3 million we're taking out on loan. So we're still playing these games with the short sellers. They're still going to be trying to attack the stock. It looks like someone is charging a ridiculously low fee of 0.14% to lend this stock out, but the average is still right around 23%. So still a highly shorted stock, still one that we're going to be, probably getting our teeth kicked in a little bit for a while until we continue to buy and hold. And at some point, like I said, this cost to borrow, this thing could take off at any time. No, I don't think there's been any news this morning other than the JP Morgan downgrade. Looks like they put a $9 price target. How fitting. Yeah, I haven't seen any news. Let's see. So TSS, Target Short Sellers in the house. He was on the stream last night. Thank you again for joining. I don't usually keep on top of my social media. I sent you a message on Twitter. I figured you were sleeping. I mean, this guy, anyone who's unfamiliar, he does have a YouTube channel. Please go check it out and subscribe. He's on He's all the way out in Belgium. So I think when we finally got off last night, it was like 3 in the morning. So again, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Love to get you on there, and I did. I'll check my messages on Twitter in a little bit. Um, if you had any dry powder to burn right now, what would you do with Clove? Buy early morning or wait until midday dip? You know what? It's hard to say because the stock is trading so low right now. Like even, you know, we did hit as high as what 970 in pre-market, but also a low at 912, and we're getting ready to go trade closer to the $9 mark again. Um, I mean, I would kind of look at level two when this opens and see what kind of buy orders come in, but my inclination, what I think is really the cheaper this stock gets, the more whales and institutions that I think are going to come in and try to buy it up as well, because it is a great deal, and getting it this low, it's kind of a steal. And we saw that when we were dropping down to 10, all of a sudden we saw these huge buy orders coming in. They weren't enough, I guess, to suppress the short selling, but I think the cheaper this gets, the more big buy orders we're going to get in, and we might even see that right now if we're getting down there $9, where at some point we're going to hit a bottom, I guess is what I'm getting at. And, you know, is there a huge difference between, let's say buying at 9 right now, and if you're able to get in at 875 later or 850 later, if that's what you're holding off for. Um, but then I guess if you wait and you're wrong, and I mean, there's probably not a huge difference of buying in at 950. I think like but I'm also coming from a mindset of like my average right now, I think is somewhere around in between 12 and 13 when I include, my shares, my long-term options and everything. And once I exercise those, I'll come out with like an average of somewhere around 12. So anything under 12 to me is a steal. But if you're sitting at like a $7 cost average, maybe I could see where you'd want to get down a little lower. But I think this stock is going to be, I'm not looking to sell this stock until we get into triple digits, whether that be from a squeeze or just from fundamentally, the expansion they're doing. So to me, like, anything under 10, anything under 13, it's all the same at that point, I guess is the way I look at it. Um, let's see here. So we are getting at 6:30. Market's opening right now. Let me zoom in so we can get these stocks up higher. What do I even have up here? I'm gonna turn space on over here, down on the bottom. Again, I never got my position in there, but I do think this thing is gonna pop today. 15 million volume already. I don't think now would be a bad time to get in on space either. I just I don't have the dry powder. Let's see here. Just looking around the markets now that we're open to kind of see where we're at. BNGO down 0.5%. 670. AVXL up roughly 1%. 25.25. ATOS is currently down 0.5%, trading at 530. AMC gap down today, down 4%, trading at 44.25. GameStop trading flat, 191.19. Clove, we gap down. We're basically trading 1.5% down. Currently 912. The S&P 500 is opening up somewhat flat. Currently trading at 434. And I want to pull up another stock I've been keeping an eye on just because someone called it out. I never opened a position in it, but MRIN. So someone had pointed out that the short interest on there was extremely high. I know it's a super low float stock, so I never, I never opened a position in it. But again, this is just absolutely insane. Where we at estimated short interest 124%. So with 99.7 utilization. So something I've just been keeping an eye on. I mean, again, it's too hard to follow too many stocks, but that's one I'm kind of just keeping in the corner of my eye too. Even though it may be too late to jump in on that, but oh, I forgot the thermos, Michael. I do have some coffee here though. I just haven't finished it. So sometimes I start talking and I just forget to finish my coffee. Now it's cold, but yeah, I need to get that thermos. I'm gonna write that down because that would be the way to go. I'll just make a pot of coffee, throw it in the thermos, and then I can sit here and just keep pouring hot coffee throughout the day. I'm gonna have to look into that. That was a great idea last week. Target short seller says they dropped 2 million on us this morning at the opening. Is that what happened here? Let's see. Yeah, 2.3 million in volume in this opening candle right here. Um, and if we pull up the Ortex data, what looks like we saw more shares returned through Ortex, but if you look at iBorrowDesk, you do see that net differential there, like of what 1.3 million that were borrowed out this morning. So yeah, absolutely. Also, I'm over here forgetting. Michael's talking about how I'm tired. Yeah, that's why I love getting oh, and I'm not. I'm out of it today. I don't even have my interview mode on. There we go. That's what I was just gonna say. I was gonna say Tar Heels coming on this morning. I forgot it was Monday. I just turned the interview mode on my thing, so I don't know if you were trying to call in already, Tar Heel. That's what I was just about to do was check my phone. But he's got to help me out on Mondays. That's what I'm usually tired as hell on Monday mornings, and he helps me pull through this. Um, so yeah, so Tar Heel will be joining me in a second. Um, let's see here. Target short seller space is falling like a rock. Sell the news. Yeah, and actually, we were talking about this offline the other day. Me and Tar Heel were, and he was saying kind of like how SRT said earlier that it may have already been priced in to the stock. Just the price of it, and you're gonna get all this hype, and it's gonna be a rug pull, and you'll see it go down a little bit. So that might be what we're seeing. There also is that significant gap to $41 where I could see it touch. And man, the social sentiment on this thing was so high over the weekend. Everybody was talking about space. I thought we would have saw um, way more buying. Is a huge uptick in volume. I want to see where that's at in comparison to their daily volume right now. Um, they've been 85 million, 62 million, but that's all in this more recent. Looks like on average, somewhere in the 20 to 13 range, and they are trading at 22 million volume already. So just keep an eye on it. Nice co-creators adding on. Um, the boss is in the house. Let's see here. Sorry, I saw a question on here, and so Kevin says why the downgrade on Clove. I didn't read the article, but I got to imagine this is just kind of FUD, just trying to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I mean, this stock is so heavily shorted right now and manipulated that and I know I saw this with GameStop even, and I know this isn't an article about it. This is an actual analyst downgrade, but with GameStop, we saw there was people posting in the subreddit at one point that there were people out there hiring. They'd pay you to write negative articles, whether that be on the subreddit or even just like to post them on Seeking Alpha and things like that. So those are some of the tactics that hedge funds use too. And it wouldn't shock me if they're either, paying off some analysts to downgrade the stock to kind of get us to jump out of it, or if these same analysts that are downgrading it um, are uh, are short the stock. Let's see here. RSI, yes, there you go. So RSI on Clove right now at the 5 minute mark is what 37. So we're into that kind of oversold territory. 30's usually like completely oversold, but we're still trading down there right now. So we'll see what happens. Clove did come down and touch 895 on the opening candle, but came back up and closed above 9, which I think is strong. We'll see if we can kind of hold this support. We do see 15,000 shares on level 2 at $9, 7,000 shares at 901. So there is some support building up here, but it also looks like there's some bigger orders down here at 890, 891, 890. Three. The other thing to remember too, though, right, is like, so let's say you let's say you short a stock, or even if you buy a stock, once you're long on a stock and you're looking to sell it, you now become the bear, right? You move over from being the bull to the bear. So, and the reason I bring that up is, um, so short sellers, let's say they just dumped, 100. Someone just dumped 100,000 shares here, at where we at, when we were trading at 915. Once they get this stock down to 895, they now become buyers, right? They want to come in and they want to buy the stock and jump in over here. And that might be short sellers looking to cover their shares. And that's why it's important to hold, because if everybody holds and no one has their stop losses set, and everybody just says, it's volatility, whatever, the stock won't drive lower after they short their shares into the market. But it's when we sell that now all of a sudden, if they could short it down to 890, when we sell it drops down to 885, and that's when they get to cover for a profit or whatever it may be. But if we all hold and nobody sells, they're just going to short it down and then have to buy the stock back at a higher price, right? Because nobody's selling, and then that's going to make the stock go up higher than what it was when they first started shorting it. I hope that makes sense. Brooks says space got halted. Okay. Wait, are you sure? Let me see. I'm gonna pull the news ticker up right here for this. Um, I'm not seeing anything on a halt. Wow. I At this point I could see space maybe going down and touching that 41 level. All right, Nolan's giving me some weeble. Place your cursor on the chart, right hand side on the numbers. Left click, hold move down to adjust chart height. Oh, I got you. So kind of like, there we go. Is that what you were looking for, Nolan? Nolan's my weeble coach. All right. So let's see here. Looks like Clove, we're still trading right around that $9 range, trying to hold there. Um, GameStop, same thing, opened at 191, trading at 188. So nothing major really going on right now. It does look like BNGO took a little slide early. It's down 2.5% right now. AVXL's popping a little bit. It's up 3%. But I think the big one here is space. I mean, down 10% right now. And I'll pull it up here real quick just so we could see it. But um, I talked about this last week, that I was gonna hold until 41 to see if it filled this gap. And then I started getting in FOMO mode later in the week, but I never ended up buying in, just because I didn't have the capital free on hand. But maybe, man, if this gets down to 41 and touches 41, I today I might still open up a little position, because I think this is gonna run a little bit this week. I do. Yeah, Michael says excellent tutorial, Nolan. Yeah, thank you. You know what my problem is too? Like I switched to webull. It's been 3 weeks now, and it's not that I mean I love the software. This is great, and my problem is I just haven't had time to really play around with it, and it's it's like I don't know if anyone else knows, but I know some of you guys have said it on the stream before, but um I'm laughing at Tar Heels comment right now. But I'm also working on my doctoral degree too. So I'm right in the middle of my dissertation process and writing my dissertation. So when I hop offline here, I got to go make food for my kids, kind of take care of them, get things going, and then I'm just like hitting the books. So I've been, the streaming has kind of taken up a lot of my free time, but I'm enjoying it, as well. And then everything else has just been, like I said, hitting the books, writing, typing, all that kind of stuff. So um i uh I haven't had time to really mess around with this and learn everything yet. Tar Heel says, I see Coach licking his chops on space. Yeah, I know. I'm just, maybe this is the one time that it worked out for the best for me. Usually I'm like, I'll jump in on something like that. And when I FOMO, I'm always wrong. And I didn't do it this time. And maybe, but let's see. I think it's going to turn around, though. I really do. I really do. Um, I don't think space got halted. Somebody said that in the chat, but I don't think so. I think to be halted, usually you got to see a 10% drop on a 1 minute candle, and 32, 33. Did we see a jump there? Oh, it did. Yeah, it got halted at 6:35. Yeah, 5 minutes right there. What are you going to school for? So I started. I'm a high school. I've been coaching football for 20 years. High school teacher for the last five. So I was working in a print shop before that. Um, for about 15 years, and you know, opportunity opened up for me to start teaching at the high school that I coach at, and I jumped on it. Better benefits, all that kind of stuff. But I had to go back to school. I already had my bachelor's degree, but I had to go get a teaching credential, and then after that, I started getting my master's. And now I'm just like, hey, at this point, why stop? So I'm almost done with my doctoral now. It's been about 2 years. Um, and I'll have a PhD in education. Um, but the emphasis on it is in like sports management, um, coaching, athletics, that sort of thing. Um, but it's a doctorate in education. Co-creators FOMO and into CLOV. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even call it FOMO right now. I mean, at $9, it's a steal. That's like you waited for the bargain. Um, Let's see. Justin says SGOC's been halted 3 times. I don't know anything about SGOC. Is that one? Is that today's big runner? Yeah, up 134%. Wow. Um, yeah, you get some movement like that, you'll absolutely see some halts. That gap right there scares me though. To enter right now. Um, Yeah, I would look for this thing to pull back a little bit. I don't know. Again, I don't know a damn thing about that stock. I'm just flying blind right there. Um, oh, there we go. Thanks, Michael. He said on Space, what's happening here is the company filed a regulatory notice that it plans to sell up to 500 million in stock. How many shares is that? Um, let me see here. So it looks like the free float is 110 million right now. I'm looking at. Oh, this is CLOV. Let me see. Where are we at? Space. Again, still learning how this webull, but I did notice how I did learn how to pull up these stats. All of a sudden, I got this little widget here where you can pull up the key stats. So, free float right now is 169 million on Space, and okay, so 10 million shares. So if they were to add in 10 million shares, I mean that's not huge dilution. Um, I mean that's what 5 to 8%. I'm just doing that off the top of my head. Um, so I don't know that it's necessarily gonna totally hurt the stock, but this might be everybody's selling because of this dilution announcement. I just think from a technical standpoint, once it gets to 41, we're going to see a lot of order two levels coming in and people buying back in. And I think Michael, you might have been the one that mentioned this last night on the chat or in the live stream that a lot of times these analysts and these people putting out the news articles and the negative news on these stocks are the ones that want to get into it. So, you know, um, although this is a little bit different, but the company comes out and says they're going to issue some shares, 10 million shares or 13 million shares. And you probably have a lot of people hammering the stock right now saying it's a sell, dilution, all this, and then it's going to drop down. And once it gets back down to this like $40 range, then you're going to see all these big buyers come back in. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen here at least. Again, no position on Space though. I'm just on the outside looking in. Um, Let me throw up this level 2 back on CLOV, and let's see here. Could you check Ortex on Carve? Yes. Let me see if I can pull this up. So, while I'm over here though, look at CLOV real quick. Oh, okay, yeah. So earlier with CLOV, we were showing a net of returned shares. Yeah, this is way off. Then I don't know what happened here. Um, yeah, that's weird. Um, Unless I'm doing something wrong. Uh, Now all of a sudden they're showing 53. This number changed, and this number normally doesn't change during the day. Um, and this was showing like a net return of shares earlier, like 7 million returned versus 5 million borrowed. Right? Am I wrong right now? I mean, I remember seeing this a couple minutes ago. And now these numbers have completely changed. They're showing 644 returned versus 2.43 borrowed, 1.78 million borrowed change. Like, what would make these statistics change when it's supposed to be live updating? So that's CLOV. Okay, I'm just to be clear because I know someone just asked for Carve, but yeah, that's insane that these numbers just changed out of the blue like that. But yeah, let me pull this up. I'll turn off the BNGO one. I was looking for to see what BNGO was looking like earlier because I know someone had said that it looked like a short play as well. I don't really see it, at least not yet. So here's Carve. 68% of the float on loan, Wow, 272 short interest. I think we were talking about this one on the stream last week, and someone had pointed it out, and the free float on this was like ridiculously small, 740,000. Yeah, so um, let's see what Carve's doing, and more shares borrowed on Carve. Is it up again today? No. Let's see here. I'm just gonna go to a daily chart. Oh yeah. So I think that's when someone had pointed it out, and it had this run up, touch 42 coming off a bottom of 10. Damn. So almost 400% gain, and now it looks like it's settling around 25. I mean, if you're still in Carve, I could see it where maybe maybe just consolidating and taking off. I don't know. I don't know anything about Carve at all, but that is a ridiculously high exchange reported short interest 272. Oh, but the current's 55. And utilization's low. They're estimating the current short interest at 73%. I mean, that's still high as hell. But it's not in that $200 range anymore. One second. Sorry, man. I had my phone on silent. Um okay, hold on. Tar Heel's coming in right now. Let me get this on here. All right, guest is in the green room. Well, let's take him out of the green room. There we go. Tar Heel, I think you're live now. You want to let's test that mic out real quick.
You got me?
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I just had to unplug it. I still got the same problems going on.
Oh, okay, so it was kind of the same thing. Damn.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all right. We'll figure it out.
yeah. I mean, I'm available too. Once we jump off this stream, we can kind of play around with it a little bit more and stuff too. Um,
All right, cool. How you doing, bro?
good. You know what? I got hella sleep last night, and I feel like I woke up more tired today than than I normally do. Might just be the
Really?
weekend catching up to me. I
I'm
think it's
usually the.
I think it's just a
Well,
Monday thing.
you had a tall task keeping us all in line. So yeah, I
Yeah.
got you, brother. I got you. I'm usually the other way around. I'm usually like dragging in the mornings, but I feel pretty good this morning. So I was like, oh man, I got to hurry up and get my coffee and talk coach out of jumping into space before he does something.
No, I never did it. I never did it. But I tell you what, if I had the cash
Yeah,
on hand, I would have. I absolutely would have. I wanted to get a part of. I wanted to get a piece of
yeah,
space so bad. Hey, so Narwhal, I just put this one up here. It says, I
yeah.
keep
I had a
expecting
feeling.
large institutions to add to their positions in an impactful way and turn this around. Wouldn't they benefit hugely? You wanna get on that one or?
Yeah, I mean, they will eventually. That's all that you really need to say about it. I mean, they're just making money off that cost to borrow, and we have such a small float that it's really only a matter of time. You have to think about it from a fun standpoint. They're not retail. They don't care if it takes a month to go back up to 28, and if we kind of align ourselves with institutions and start thinking like they do, then we can hop along the train. We're just a sailboat out in the middle of the ocean, waiting for them to pick us up. So just think like an institution, and it'll take care of us.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think it's it's just a matter of waiting it out. They're looking to get in and get a nice price point, and I mean, at least that kind of gives you a little bit of security, knowing that it's not going to go too low. We're always going to have
Nah,
this buying support coming in because the stock is ridiculously cheap right now.
yeah,
I'm going to jump ahead and just pull this one up real quick because Societal Menace says JP Morgan ruined our chances of a squeeze. I don't think so at all.
dude.
Uh,
Yeah, I saw this earlier, and I've seen some people complaining about a $9 price target, but honestly, that's good for me. Because these analysts are always conservative, always, and the one that would piss me off is if they were like, "Oh, it's $5." $9 price target easily gets us to 14, $15. I mean, that's how analysts downgrades and upgrades work. You know, they're always going to be conservative.
and just looking at Clove right now, I mean, it looks like the current analyst ratings are between 9 and 10. Did you know this option was on Webull, by the way?
Yeah, I was listening to you talk about it. I've played around. I've seen it. Like if you said I'll give you $100 to get back there in 2 minutes, I probably couldn't do it. But
So
but I'm learning.
I set up this little window right here. Usually it has level 2 data, but then I put like little tabs like news, key
Yeah.
statistics, analysts. Like I said, I'm still learning every day too.
Oh, I've had to reset that thing like to default like twice now because it just looks crazy. I lost everything a couple times, and if you get too bad, just give me a call and we'll figure it out.
Yep.
But I like it. I like that Webull platform. I'm glad you told me about the app. I was so stupid using the web-based version, and it's entirely different too. That app is.
Yeah. Let's see here. So Micro Badger. Wasn't there an analyst that had Tesla at like 20 for the longest time? Yeah. I mean that's kind of I think that's kind of the thing too, right? And then um these analysts aren't always right. And then Tesla was a very manipulated stock too. And that's kind of where I say, like, I think sometimes these analysts, you gotta, know where they're coming from. I mean, they could be representing people that are short the stock,
Right.
and so it benefits them. It behooves them to, put a lower price target on it. So it's all a game. It's all a psychological warfare, and
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, you just got to know what you're holding with Clove is worth way more right now than what it's trading at. And then again, the whole like it's a great comparison with Tesla because Tesla is a stock that I don't think Tesla is worth anywhere near what it's trading at right now. That's all speculative pricing into it, right? That's all pricing Tesla on what it's going to become in the future. Um, and what I mean
Yep.
by that is what they're actually earning right now by selling cars isn't where they're trading at. Now, we're not in
Right.
that position with Clove. I'd love to be. We're a hyper growth stock. This is a stock that should be trading, at those type of multiples because of what it can potentially do in the future. But it's not. It's just not trading there. We're actually undervalued of what the fundamental performance is right now. I think. Um,
Well, do you know how many like $5 price targets I saw when I was in AMC and we were trading at $12?
yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it's
shit.
gonna
I
it's
mean,
gonna happen.
GameStop right now. Somebody issued an upgrade. There was an analyst upgrade today. They upgraded the stock to $20.
Right. Well, so do you remember a couple weeks ago, Bank of America came out and said they had removed any. They're not even gonna put any price targets on meme stocks now. Some of them, like Bed Bath and Beyond, they came out specifically and said they're not even gonna put a price target on it because of what we're doing. So
Yeah. Well, and then they don't want to be wrong, right? So if they go out there and they keep issuing these low ass price targets, and then the stock is continuing, then people are going to get pissed. The people that actually listen to them,
yeah,
that see those price targets and decide to jump in and
yeah,
open up a short
and
position, or You
You
know,
know, somebody had a good point too. I didn't know this, but somebody said, you know what, they actually do factor in like the Hindenburg report, for example. So if the analysts are taking all that BS into consideration too, then again, I'm happy. A $9 price target doesn't mean we're going to stay at $9. A $9 price target is a over conservative position from an analyst. You know, they would probably if we went up to $20, they would probably bump us up to like $11 price target. That's how that stuff works. It's to be taken with a huge grain of salt.
no, that makes perfect sense. Damn, it looks like there's a lot of buying coming in at 890, 891, 880. I'm
Hey,
starting to
coach, can I
see.
talk about something for a minute?
Yep, go ahead.
The You there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it was lagging for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I've been having so much fun. Discord, it has like 1,500 members right now, I think.
Damn,
Um,
since yesterday?
yeah, yeah, I think.
Let me see.
No, I'm sorry. It's 871. Maybe I was like looking at it in my sleep, but it blew up like within a few hours. But y'all be nice to my boy Jaywalk over there. He's trying, and blah blah is catching some heat too. But I'm telling you guys, this Discord is going to be a huge weapon in our arsenal to get everybody together. There was a lot of people kind of in there moaning this morning, and on that token too. I don't know. I haven't talked to blah blah specifically, but if anybody wants to mod over there, we're gonna need mods, a lot of them. So just wanted to, because those guys are under huge pressure right now. It's like herding cats over there right now. So just
Oh,
wanted to
you
throw
mean
that out there.
the actual? Yeah, man. Shit, I haven't logged in there.
Yeah, I was telling Jaywalk, I've got a lot of experience with Discord, and it's really important to self-police. So, like, when there's gonna be, somebody was saying in the Discord this morning, like, what's the difference between shills over here and shills over there? Well, yeah, in Reddit, you can hit report, but that report doesn't get sent right away, and it's a lagging it just takes a while to get to them. If we can self-police over there, if you see a bad comment, just put a red X on it and everybody else will hop on board, and hopefully we'll have a few mods in there at any given time. So I'm telling you, this Discord is going to be a very, very good thing.
Huh. Yeah, that dude. That I'm not up on Discord at all. I mean, I just started using Discord within the last probably
I
two,
know.
3 weeks. And so I don't really know how any of that stuff works. But
I
yeah,
know.
I agree
Well,
with you. I think
you and I are old dogs.
yeah. But it is. I mean, just from being on there right now, like we started that server with the kind of that other one, and then like I did a voice chat, a voice call with some of the mods on there. I didn't even know you could do phone calls through Discord. Discord's cool. I really like it. And
It
I
is.
see how it differs from Reddit. Like, anyone who's not familiar, like Reddit, I think serves its purpose, and I think that's it's absolutely amazing. You know how you can make a post and it stays up there, and the upvote thing, and everything's there forever, like for you to go back and reference, right? But Discord is, I would say, kind of like the daily chat on steroids. You know what I mean?
Yep,
It's like
absolutely.
it gives people an opportunity to talk now and send it
That
almost like the chat right now on a YouTube channel. If you
that's exactly what Discord is. And you probably don't know this, but Discord was being looked at by Microsoft for purchase of some ridiculous number. I mean, I don't even know what it was. It might have been like $50 billion or something, but the deal fell through, and that was last year. But Discord is hugely popular. It's a lot more secure than Reddit with the bots, because there's this premium bot called MEE6 that runs everything, and it's just a lot more secure than Reddit. So that's another reason for it.
so Demontis says, what's the Discord? So if you go down, I put the invite link in today's video. So if you go down to the uh the description box in this video, right at the top, it says join the official Discord. You can go on there and click it, and that'll get you in there. And see, this is like I said, I'm learning about Discord every day. So I actually like using it on the computer more than my phone. Like you can get it on the computer and there's a web version of it, but on your phone you have to download the app. Um, but yeah, the link is right there. Uh,
And you can slow the chat down in there too. I'm telling blah blah that right now. I'm not sure if he knows that.
and then Ago, if you can, maybe shoot me a message offline, and we'll I don't know if you're already on the Discord, and we could I could hook you up with the mods there or whatever, or if you want to shoot me an email, I did create an email just to make it easy if anyone wants to. It's just coachbstocks@gmail.com. But if you can
Oh,
connect with me offline, and then I'll see what's up.
what's up, Ego? I was talking to Ego on Discord earlier.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
All right. So
Yeah.
so you're already on there. So then you could do the so Tar Heel could DM you on there. Right on. Um That's the other thing too. If you're on Discord, it makes it easy to kind of get in contact with people. Because like with YouTube,
It
I keep
does.
trying to figure out like, how to
Nah.
how to talk to somebody offline, and
Yeah.
with SRT we ended up emailing each other. But you know
Yeah.
that's the
Well,
other reason I
Twitter.
created that Gmail account, was just so that I could kind of put it out
Right.
there.
Yeah, your Twitter DMs, and I got to make another email too.
Yeah,
Same deal.
well, then, because then what happens too when you post your email out like that? Like, let's say, like, the one that I did, and if it's posted out there on the web, then you start getting a ton of spam mail too. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's why I don't want to use my regular email address.
Well,
Um,
did you ever follow Trey?
a little bit. I
Trey
wasn't
always.
really into AMC. He was entertaining, so sometimes I'd
Yeah.
throw him on and watch him, or just throw it on to kind of see like where AMC was at. But
Right.
but yeah,
Well,
so I
he
watched him a little.
Well, he always talked about. One time he said he always got like nude photographs in his emails. So be careful, man. Be careful. He's like, guys and girls will send me photos all the time. So I don't. People probably do that to me just to mess with me from the looks up, from the way it's going so far. So, oh
Oh,
man.
all right, I'm just gonna address this because I don't mind addressing this type of stuff and societal menace. I don't know if you're being serious, or if you're coming in the channel just to kind of spread FUD. But if you really are and you lost a ton of money, listen. One, I'll say this: I don't believe Clove is a bad play even right now. I mean, it depending on when you got in, you might be at a bad cost average, but I intend on holding this stock until it goes back up. And that's my only advice, or not financial advice, but I guess my thoughts on the stock is the stock is highly manipulated, but it's very undervalued, and it will be back upwards of $20-$30. Just based off fundamentals, not even with the squeeze play. So, but if you're just in here to kind of spread FUD, I don't know, man. I'm sure you could find something better to do with your day. Um, let's see here. I'm just gonna keep going. What's the deal with Clover right now? I got it in at 16. So, uh, I mean, kind of the same thought process, right? Like if we zoom out, and I'll put the daily chart up here on Clover real quick. We had the run up. We had like what I thought was going to be, somewhat of consolidation. But the stock is heavily manipulated too. I mean, we're getting the shit shorted out of us right now, and we just gotta buy and hold. The utilization rate is high. The short interest is high, and at some point the cost to borrow is high, and these guys are going to have to cover their stock. I mean, I don't know if you want to add on to that, Tar Heel.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said a little earlier, I had you on my headphones. We're just trying to find a bottom right now. That's all that's going on, in my opinion. That's it.
Yep. All right, let's see here. Where is my VWAP
Hey,
at?
hey, TSS just asked me something. Um, I saw in the chat. He said, "What is Nitro?" Nitro is, I've never subscribed to it, but it's something in Discord where you can use like animated emojis and GIFs, and it just gives you a bunch of cool um, ways to respond to people. And I've never used it, but I like it a lot. You know, like that cat with like the head bop that does this. I love this one, man. I wish I could use that. That's the only one I would use, but I think you need nitro to do stuff like that.
Let me see. Any way you can explain what OPEX is and its significance to AT? Okay. Here, I'll take this one real quick. So, the option expiry. So the option expiration date. So, is this is I'm assuming that's what you're talking about for July 16th, and basically what we're looking at, and this is the ATOS option chain right here. Let me zoom in on this Clove chart for everyone who's still watching Clove, and I might have to take this GameStop one off and pick a new one. You know, let's see. There we go. There's GameStop. There's Clove. All right. So ATOS options expiry is this Friday, July 16th, and so every Friday, or actually with this stock, it's once a month. They have the options expire, right? And so depending on how many expire in the money or out of the money, but basically what we're looking at here with ATOS is a ton of call contracts. Those are bullish contracts expiring in the money that like greatly outweigh the puts. So I mean, even at every single strike price right now, except for the 150 strike, it looks like calls outweigh puts. So even if the stock was to just remain exactly where it's at right now, every single day that moves forward, the delta is going to increase on these calls, and these calls are going to have to be bought up. But at the same time, um, not a ton of delta here, zero point zero 0.02, zero point zero 0.02, zero point zero 0.05. These calls will be the shares that are being hedged for these calls will be able to get shed. But it's going to continue to drive the price up because what happens is every day that goes by, every minute that goes by, really at this point, this delta is going to increase. And market makers that are trying to stay delta neutral are going to have to buy shares to move the stock up. So, um, huge open interest here for a gamma squeeze. Um, and I guess that would be the significance of the expiration date that coming this Friday is every day that we get closer, the delta is going to keep increasing on these stocks. And I mean, it's not even like just the $5 strike or the 450 strike. I mean, all the way through the option chain, it's just absolutely loaded up. So I hope that answered your question. Let's see here. You guys are just going back and forth. I was just looking at talking about running out of powder. Yeah, I'm out of powder right now. I
I'm not.
bought the dip at 17, so I'm out too right now. That's where I'm hoping that maybe like
I'm way
one
out
of
of
these other
powder.
plays will take off and I could jump in and kind of continue to average down while this price is so low.
I just can't tell you how many times I've been in this position, and my nerves are just numb at this point. And I can only speak for myself, but it just takes it take trading. You need experience, like anything else. And you only they always say you only lose when you sell, right? Well, I can't tell you if I had just two times now, if I would have just left my money in the market, I wouldn't be here right now chatting with you guys because I'd be chilling. But I'm just gonna let it play out. Wait till the funds start jumping in. I mean, what do you think a run is gonna look like? I mean, when everybody starts turning green, say we go up 4% one day and 5% another day, it's gonna be hard once that Momo gets going to stop this train.
Yeah, and I think that's when you said everybody starts running, I think that's what's important to factor in too, because at this point, I think that people that are in Clove as a fundamental play, they don't mind this at all. But it's the people that are jumping in for the short squeeze, which I know a lot of people are, that need to realize like all of these squeeze plays for the most part are kind of just up and down. Like yeah, AMC ran up last week, but then it fell right back down. It's at 44. GameStop's been trading sideways. A lot of these stocks they've been moving together, and it's not just Clove that's getting hammered down right now. But like Tar Heel said, once they start running, Zed wants to know what Momo is, the momentum, uh, and the momentum starts running. Then you're going to start having people FOMOing in, fear of missing out, and they're going to start jumping in, and things will really start cooking.
Yep.
But Clove isn't a 1 day pump and dump, and this is one where
It's
it's
not.
it's the long term play, and you can, and I keep saying this, it's a safe entry point for a squeeze play because you fundamentally you could just get into Clove right now, hold this stock for a year, and you're not going to be mad. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. I mean, this could be a
We
triple digit stock on its own merit.
well,
Um,
I mean, imagine this. We were even saying the same thing with AMC, which fundamentally and from a business perspective, even when I was in it, I had a really good feeling like it was going to squeeze. But you always have to say to yourself, um, what's the downside versus what's the upside? Are you risking a 10% downside to potentially gain a 100% upside? And that's the way I look at Clove. So,
yeah. Let's see here. I'm just making paper airplanes with $100 bills and throwing them across the street and hoping someone catches it and sends it back as $1,000 bill. Oh, that's a great
yeah,
analogy.
the whole time we've been streaming, man, we've been red. It's gonna. I keep saying this, but it's gonna be fun when it starts going green. It's fun now. I can't imagine
Well,
how
I
it's gonna
got
be when it
lucky. I
goes green.
think I think the first week I started streaming was like, let me see. I'm gonna pull up the daily chart because I think maybe I got spoiled too soon.
I think you
We
did.
keep talking about how it's hard to it's I want to say I started streaming right here.
Yeah,
and so we were actually live during this nice run up and all this,
nice.
and then I was telling Tar Heel offline, like sometimes it's hard to stream on like the extreme red days. It's just but I don't mind it. I mean, I think I got the stomach for it, and I think I got some good training with GameStop over time. To be able to handle the volatility of these squeeze plays. Um, D Worm says at this point it's like F it, holding long and strong, and then 1 day fireworks. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
Jason, that's a good point too. The stock market, that's a Warren Buffett quote, right? Device to transfer money from the impatient to the patient. Yeah, that's the key. You just got to be patient and believe in what you bought. I mean, at
Yeah.
least I do, and that's the other
Yeah.
reason. That's the other thing that makes this so easy is I don't mind holding this stock because I know what it could be worth down the road um, on its own merit without the squeeze.
Well,
Uh,
there's gonna be a lot of boomers and a lot of institutions and whales and everybody else that's eventually gonna figure out that it's a disruptor, it's an optionality play, and that's the reason they're gonna jump into it because they realize what this is as a hyper growth company. And when they start to jump in, I mean, you're gonna be glad you were in at the beginning. That's all I can say. Every time I've lost money in the stock market, it's only because of one reason. It's because I'm impatient. I was impatient. I'm not making that mistake again. So,
I'm gonna throw this up here real quick because board AZ81. I don't know if that's board Arizona or board ass. Uh, but said that the short interest change. Yeah, so I mean, return versus borrow now. We got 1.24 million versus 6.06 borrowed for a net differential of 4.8. So I mean, it's going to be a plus. If this was to hold, that would be a plus almost 10%, 9% gain in short interest. So you look
uh,
at today, the short interest is up here 35%. That would put us into like the 44, 45% range. And adds an additional, we'd be at what, 58 million shares on loan. So we're kind of at the peak right now, I think, with shares on loan. That means that right now, as of Ortex, we're looking at, am I right at that? Yeah, 58 million shares on loan. I mean, that's one of the highest numbers we've seen. Somewhere
how'd
between 58 and 61.
how'd you get to 58?
So I'm looking at, as of this morning, Ortex is saying 53 million, right?
Right.
And then as of today, the live updates, we're almost at 4.8 million borrowed. So I'm just taking this number
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
adding it to this number, and that's basically what they're doing
Wow.
too here. So when they're saying short interest change, they're saying
Wow.
that they're estimating the short interest to be plus 9% on the day.
Yeah.
So you take this
Hey.
9, and we're going to be basically at 44% tomorrow morning. If today ends like this, I mean, obviously throughout the day they could borrow more or return more.
Hey, I know you like to tell your like fishing story. Like I caught a fish this big, like I saw 61 million.
Dude, I swear I did. I don't
Wait.
know. I
You
wish I
caught
had a
a
screenshot of it, but I
you ca-
swear one of those
like you
days.
caught a 17-inch bass. How was the when was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I want to say, and I'm sure if we go back and look at one of my streams, I just haven't had time, but it was during the I want to say it was right in here.
You
We
know
saw it
what?
as high as 61.
I
Um
can export that. I'm gonna while we're talking, I'm gonna try to export that data and see if I can get it
does
into
Vortex
a
allow you to
Excel.
go back and look back on specific dates?
Yeah, man.
Oh
You haven't
shit.
you're not watching my videos, are you?
Man, you know what?
I'm just messing with you.
I know
I'm
I'm
just
gonna be
messing with you.
honest with you though. Like I still haven't watched you and Wall Street or and Degenerates
Yeah.
video from Friday. I've been busy as hell recently.
I'm just giving you a
Um
hard time. I exported all the data from AMC, GameStop, and Clove, AMC and GameStop before their squeezes and after, just to look at compare and contrast all the cost of borrows, the short interest, everything like that. I did not look at shares on loan though, so that would be very interesting to look at that 61 million number just to see when that was.
oh yeah, and just see was it after the peak or before the peak or something like that.
Yeah,
Um
I can pull it while I'm talking to you.
all
I'll tell
right.
you right as soon as I get it.
Josh says, "How can we get the days to cover higher? It was at 3 when it popped." So that has to do with volume, right? Like right now, if there's 53, let's just say 58 million if we include what got borrowed today. 58 million shares on loan. Um, basically what you'd be looking at is how long,
But
given the average daily volume, would it take shorts to come in to cover? So lower
yeah, but
volume
keep in
increases
mind
days to
though,
cover.
Coach, keep in mind, I always forget this. I know you know this, but I think we all forget it. That's a 3-month rolling average. So when we had those days of 750 million, that's obviously going to skew the numbers. If you take that out, God knows what it would be. It might be 4 or 5 days right now.
True. Yeah, that is true, because if you look at the average, like, even that's why I stopped kind of even looking at let me
Yep.
see. Let me go back to this 4 up, but key stats, it gives you the average volume and things like that. I think it was in here. I saw it. Yeah, average volume 59 million, but I know that number's not accurate. Prior
Right.
to the recent run up, I want to say Clove's average volume was somewhere around 10 million. I believe 10 million per day is where it
Yeah.
was. I could be wrong on that, but I know that, like, this 60 million number is really skewed just because of that run up. Um, it looks like GameStop. No, we're in 192 still. I just see the green candles and I get excited. Uh,
Gr- Green candle. What's that?
all right, let's see.
I don't even know what that
D
is
Warren
anymore.
says, "Did you fry while camping?" Yeah, I did. I did better this time around than I did 2 weeks ago when we went. I made sure and applied my sunblock and all that stuff a couple times a day, and but yeah, I still got a lot of sun. Um, Co-creator says every time he buys the dip, it dips lower. Maybe if I just hold and quit buying, it'll go up. Potentially. Hey, not to change the subject, but while we've been talking, space did fill the gap. See, look, now I'm gonna FOMO in. Uh,
I see you. I see you.
space did fill that gap. So this is where I said I was gonna take an entry on it. Um,
I mean,
Back,
options are the way to go, though.
yeah. I'm
That's the only time you're ever gonna hear me say that.
yeah. I'm still probably gonna I don't know, maybe hold on a little. Let me. I don't really see the other problem is I don't really have the free capital to get into it right now.
Right.
So that means I would have to like offload a position to something else, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I like my I'm definitely not selling any Clover GameStop. So then it becomes, my BNGO. That's more of a long term hold. AVXL is a long term hold. Um, and then my only other thing is ATOS, and that's just a pure gamma squeeze play, and I don't want to dump that before Friday. So yeah, so I guess I'm just waiting. Unfortunately.
Stick with your convictions.
Yep. D Worm says chasing it up is wrong, so chasing it down has to be good. Talking about buying the dips.
I
Let's
always try to
see.
imagine myself like, what would I do if I were in the stock, and then I try to go from there. Hey, I finally got some loan numbers for you.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Um, let's see here. It looks like June 17th. So we went to 28 on what, the 9th?
Let's see. Yep.
On the 9th, we had 58 million and some change shares on loan.
Uh huh.
June 17th, we had 60,476,000.
So there's that. That's the number I was. Yeah, I knew it was in there somewhere.
Yeah,
So
I'll
right
give it to
around
you.
here.
I'll
But
give it to you.
but we are close now. So I mean, if you look at like right now, we're currently at about 58 million, considering we started the day at 53,
Yeah,
and 5 million out on loan. So we're about 58. I mean, they're basically running out of powder, is what I'm seeing, right? I mean, if the highest was 60 point whatever, we'll call it 61 million. That means there's only
yeah,
3 million shares we know about that are out there right now.
right. You guys, I'm
Um,
gonna I'm gonna tweet this out, this Ortex data, just so everybody can see it, and I'll just say something like we should be around 58 million today. If you want to go check it out.
yeah, I'll go retweet it right now. Let me know when you send it.
All right.
We talked about this a little bit, last night as well. Just that, it in order to kind of spread the community and bring more people into this stock, it's important that you go out and you retweet, you like videos, you
Yep.
even if you just search search the Clove ticker and find other people's tweets and retweet those things and get that information out there for more to see. Um, I
I
see
wish I was better.
I see the picture of your hair.
Isn't that hilarious? Dude, that was my clovid hair. I love
Cloven
that.
hair. All right, let's see here.
Hold on, I'm not there. I gotta
Okay,
throw in a
let
couple.
me know when you do it.
All right.
Um, let me see. TSS, I'll pull it up right now. It's right here. So, this is what we're looking at. 53 million as of this morning, but right here, this number down here, the borrowed change is showing 4.83 million. So, we are at an additional 5 million shares today that have been borrowed out. 1.2 million returned, 6.06 million borrowed. There's your differential right there of 5 million. And that's why we're saying that we're basically at 58 million borrowed out right now, which the highest that we've seen is very close to that, about 3 million off of where we're at right now. So there, I think we're getting back into that range of them running out of powder is what I really think. Let me see. Use my tricks that Nolan taught me. There we go.
All right. I just put it out.
All right.
Whew, that was hard.
I don't even have Twitter on my computer. I gotta do it on my phone. I'm not
I'm telling you, you got to get iMessages too and change your life. We just crossed back over $9.
Yeah,
Like it, like it.
the tweet was magical. Got
Yeah.
oh, you know what? GME is starting to pop. Went from 192, and then the last 5 minutes we saw 100,000 volume, and it went up to 198.
Oh, we're putting in
Um,
green bars, coach, on the 10 minute with Clove. You see any green bars on GameStop? We just had a bullish engulfing after a doji. That's good.
yeah, it looks like so 3 green bars in a row on Clove. Uh, Also around the same time frame, we're looking at the last 15 minutes. Same
Yeah, you're
thing
on the
with
5 minute.
yeah, 5 minute. So same thing
Mm-hmm.
with GameStop. We saw kind of three in a row, and then I'm just gonna pull up.
So hey, you want to pull up the 10 minute real quick? I'll teach everybody a little something something.
Yep. You want me to get to a bigger screen, or is this good?
That's fine. I mean, I got it on mine, so I can just talk about it. But if so you see that red candle before the big green candle?
Here, I'm just
So
gonna I'm
that
gonna go. I'm gonna
that's
go here. That way we could pull
all
it up
right.
big. 10 minutes. Here, let me turn off some of this crap I have on there. All right, we got the 10-minute chart up.
Yep. So that big green candle, the second one from the right,
Yep.
that is so that you see how that's encompassing the body of the candle before it, the
Yeah.
entire. So just everybody watching, that's called a bullish engulfing candle. That's exactly what you want to see. The candle before it is, I would say that's a doji candle, which is usually an indecision candle, which means that it opened and closed around the same point. And indecision, obviously, is just trying to decide where to go. So the fact that we got a bullish engulfing right after that is that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah. And then likewise, the opposite is what you don't want to see
Yeah,
when you see it
yeah,
being red. I mean, because I've seen that as
right.
well. But no, this is actually absolutely a bullish sign. Um, and then again, we're up above VWAP, and that's where we
Good,
want to
yeah,
be at.
good call.
So let me go back over here real quick. Um, yeah, it looks like three green, three green, and now I'm just looking around at some of these other ones. I mean, even ATOS started popping. Um, AMC also just busted through VWAP recently. Um, so it looks like shit. A lot of these heavily shorted stocks are all kind of trending together over
Yeah,
the last 15 minutes. They're all jumping. So that might be some good news for us here. Let's see here.
MRIN's getting murdered.
MRIN, MRIN.
New,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Newegg's
yeah.
down 16%.
That was that
Newegg is
one.
down 16%. Yeah,
That was that one that was insane short interest, right? Like
yeah,
200% or
yep.
something like that. All right. So Tim says, guys, what do you think about how is Clove Technology Department going to convince boomer physicians to use and like Clove app besides money?
Money.
I
Nah, I've got a couple of friends, really just one main one who is a physician, and I got to call him and ask him what he thinks about it, if he even if he knows about it. But these guys, being a doctor today is not like it was back in the 80s and the 90s. These guys are, unfortunately, I have all the respect in the world for them, but plumbers make a lot more money than a lot of MDs do these days. And so anytime you can make their life easier, having all the data right there in front of them, and then yeah, on top of it, I mean, I know you said don't talk about money, but money's a huge part of it. I My sister's neighbor is like one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. I can't stand the guy, but he's a great doctor, and he has to travel. I mean, he's awful, man. He's awful. But I bully him around on the basketball court just to get back at him. but he has to drive like 2 hours to work every single day because he can't find work because of what's going on in the medical industry. So these guys will jump at any opportunity they can to make their life easier and make more money. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I think, in terms of like the whole like boomer thing, standoffish of like the new technology. I mean, I think that that's always going to happen. Like there's always going to be a certain population that is going to be a little more hesitant to try something new. And I mean that happens with everything, right? Like cell phones and even getting on the internet. And I mean, I'm just thinking over the last 20 years, all the technological advances that have come out, and that now it's like when they first came out, hardly anyone was using it, and then
Right.
now it's like an everyday thing, and Clove is gonna end up being that sort of disruptive tech in the medical insurance industry. And so even if there are some doctors offices and maybe older generation of doctors that are kind of phasing out, that are standoffish to it, I think that's the key point too, is that eventually they're going to phase out, right? And you do have these younger doctors that are here and more tech savvy, you
Yeah.
know so it's gonna grow, and then eventually, once it does grow to a certain point, you can't avoid the technology anymore, right? You're gonna have to get into it, and like Tar Heel says, if it makes it easier for them, once someone shows them how to use it, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's
And
not really them using it; it's their secretaries and shit, right?
exactly. Well, and the other thing is that it's all about the end results, what's best for the patient. And they've already got statistics showing that, let's go through it. 22% fewer hospital visits per thousand, 23% fewer ER visits per thousand. It's 41% cheaper than Medicare and 17% cheaper than the nearest competitor. So what's happening is, yeah, doctors are making more money, but it's going to be stickier of a product because everybody, including insurers, and the bigger companies will have to come on board with this eventually, but everybody wants the patient to go to their primary care physician and get treated there and stay in front of disease. And it's better for the insurers and it's better for the PCPs because they stay there and the money is kept there for the PCPs, but also the end game is that it ends up helping the patients because it keeps them healthy. So it's a win-win.
All right, so board. I don't know if you heard about this, Tario, or what this is. I'm trying to look for it right now on my Fintel. Says Vanguard just filed a SC13 GNA. Can you talk about that? Let me look into that, or maybe we both can. And if you find anything on it, I'm assuming you're talking about Clove. So we'll try to see it right now.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah,
13.
I'm looking at. I'm
Maybe you can drop a link or something.
Yeah, it does look like I'm on Fintel's right now. But I have the paid Fintel, so I don't know if I can
Right.
actually. I could pull it up
Pull it
um
up.
on the screen. Let's see. Um, let's see here. So there's the information right here, but it looks like Vanguard Group, SC13GA. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I don't really know how to read these. I think this is Al Trade's wheelhouse, unless maybe what you're looking at here, Tar Heel.
I can't really see it. My
Yeah,
screen is like small on
I'm gonna see
eCam.
if I
I
can
don't know if
send
there's any
you
way to
this
make
link.
it.
But I also don't want to just sit here. Well, I'll tell you this much: we'll all kind of look into it and see what it's about. But I don't want to. I only have the stream going for another 19 minutes. I don't want to spend the entire time trying to read through this. But Tario, I'm gonna send you this link. I don't know if you're
Yep.
gonna be able to open it, but I'm gonna send it to you on Discord real quick, and then let me know
Just all right.
if you're able to open that. I don't know if you will, just because it's like the paid subscription thing. Um,
Yeah, it's probably not gonna let me see it. See if. Oh, wait a minute. It might be. Uh,
so that may have actually been some buying going on there too, or covering, I should say. And the only reason I say
it
that,
says. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
It
just
says
looking.
shared voting power. No, never mind.
So checking out the Ortex data, we just saw that kind of increase in CLOV about 15 minutes ago, and it does look like what almost 700,000 or a million share differential was covered during that time. So that might have even been what maybe pushed us up a little bit, was somebody getting out. So now we're looking at a net differential of 3.3, and we were closer to 5. So again, this is going to keep changing throughout the day, but it looks like our shares on loan now is somewhere going to be around 56.5 million. So just something to kind of keep an eye on and keep watching. And but in this ballpark, in this range where we're at right now of 56 to 58 million, that's where we were at when we popped last time. So as Tar Heel just pointed out a little while ago. Yeah, B Tip
I,
says most doctors are more up to speed with tech than we realize. Things like Epic Medical Records and other pharma apps are changing how they think. Yeah, and I think like Tar Heel mentioned too, it just, if it makes it easier for them, why would they not want to, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, these guys are smart. They're good at technology. They just need it to be sitting there in front of them. I mean, imagine you're an MD and you have 2,000 patients, and then you know, you've got people transferring from other PCPs. You've got, they might go out of network for something. They might come from a specialist where they called themselves and they went and now they're coming to their PCP and they don't know what to tell you. So there needs to be some database that it pops up right so they can see everything and that doesn't exist in the health market today. The only electronic health network system that has been created is solely to do with billing. So yeah, they can bill you like very efficiently, but it just doesn't exist.
Yeah. They know how to bill.
Yeah.
Uh, so board says that that's a filing for purchasing more than 5%. Now this gets into what me and you were talking about a couple weeks ago. Like the FUD of last week was, all these institutions are going to sell their shares. All these institutions are going to sell their shares, and we haven't seen any evidence of that yet. Now, if all of a sudden we start seeing that institutions are buying more and aren't selling, this could be
I'll
a catalyst
I'll
in itself.
yeah, I'll say this. I would be a lot more worried if we were sitting at $70 that if somebody that institutions would be starting to sell.
Yeah.
Personally, I am not worried at $9 that Vanguard is going to drop. Vanguard, they correct me if I'm wrong, but they purchased those shares as part of their index, right? So that's an index fund is the reason they bought primarily most of those.
Yeah, I
So
believe so.
because we were a part of the I'll butcher this, but like we got induced into the what MSC whatever as well. So that might have something to do with it. We didn't make it to the Russell, but we made it to the MSC whatever it was.
So Josh says, "How do you think earnings will look? Do you think these analysts know that earnings will not look good?" Well, I mean, the last earnings report was actually better than analysts thought it was going to be.
On
It was
revenue.
just the second Hindenburg release that kind of, right when earnings came out. This was back in May, I think. And then that same day, Hindenburg started tweeting again and kind of killed the momentum that was coming off the earnings. But I don't know. I mean, in terms of how earnings would look, I have no clue. What do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think I like the fact that he put analysts in quotations because that's funny. Because I agree. But so yeah, sell the news is usually. I would not sell the news on this one, me personally. Um, Last time I believe we beat on revenue. Everybody was shocked that we beat on revenue, but MCR was a little higher than everybody expected on the last earnings call, and that should probably. I don't think we'll see any shockers there one way or the other, but I think revenue is gonna jump, and free cash flow is still gonna be negative. Operating expenses are gonna be what's killing us, but I think everybody's gonna look at revenue and be like, "Oh God, these guys are growing." And I don't know. I would say if anything, it's probably going to trade flat on earnings. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that it seems or I mean, just from what I've seen in the past with these with like GameStop and stuff, or they're gonna beat out estimates and everything, and then they're gonna hit it hard the day of earnings to try to get people to get scared,
Right.
and
Right.
so you know,
Yeah.
regardless of what happens leading up to it, regardless of what the earnings report is, the moment that it comes out, you're gonna see the stock
Well,
get attacked. That seems to be the
yeah,
play
and
lately.
that's why it's always I always look forward to hearing what the CEO has to say and the CFO have to say about everything and just kind of what the business has planned and why the numbers are what they are. So I think it's going to be a good call. I mean, they haven't had an opportunity really to talk about the 101 county expansion, and that'll probably be a perfect time to do it.
Now, what is the actual earnings date?
I believe it's August 12th or the 16th. I've seen
Last
two
time they
dates.
moved it up. I think it was supposed to be on a Friday, and they moved it up to like Monday pre-market or something like that. So I know last time they kind of kept an open window there, and then ended up moving it up kind of last. I don't want to say last minute, but I think about a couple weeks before they announced that they were going to do it on a Monday morning.
It says Google says August 16th.
So Clark says not trying to spread FUD, but the filing says no. I don't think it's spreading FUD. I'm interested to see this too. Like once we jump offline, I'm gonna look into this a little bit more. Um, and not trying to spread FUD, but the filing says Vanguard now owns 6.5% of Class A shares, or 9 million. Did they own 27 million? Well, it could be that they converted over from Class B though. Is that kind of, am I right in thinking that, or um,
No, those were all Class A, all
okay.
26 million of it.
Vanguard now owns 6.4% of Class A shares, or 9 million. Did they own 27 million? Again, I'll look into this once we jump offline and probably even maybe do a little update video on it. But I want to make sure I get all my information in order first. Target short seller says Antonio Costa, 144,000 followers on Twitter, is buying Clove right now.
Nice.
See, so that's something where, like, for instance, and I'm not big with social media, but I'm gonna jump on and see who the hell you're talking about. Yeah, all right, I found him, and he just tweeted 2 minutes ago. Clove back in play, took some at 894, ready for another swing trade, and I'm gonna retweet that. Um,
Degenerates DMing me right now asking me what's going on.
Oh, with that SEC or the filing, the
Yeah.
13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you said you were able to open that link I sent you though, right?
I was, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as soon as we get off, and then Chef Daddy says it's not on the SEC site. Any filings. Yeah, it looks like, let me go back to that. It
I
says
bet they're just
14
moving. I
14
bet they're
hours
just
ago.
moving. They're probably just moving shit around, would be my guess.
Yeah. But we'll definitely, I'll try to do my best due diligence, reading into that. But with like going through some of these documents are so damn long. I'm not gonna lie. I'd rather,
I like reading those things. I don't know why. I think it's like a sick fetish I have.
This one
But
actually isn't that long though. It looks like it's maybe just a couple pages. So we'll
yeah,
have to
he was
see.
so degenerate saying. I mean, obviously everybody's just kind of like giving thoughts right now, so I don't want to box him in or anybody in. But he was saying potentially, he said Vanguard moved them to small cap, and I think this counts as a different entity. So I don't know even what fund Vanguard has it in, if it's considered small cap or what it is, but it would be my guess that they're just moving stuff around. Because that's what Vanguard does. I mean, they're an index fund. They don't buy shares to make money, they buy shares to track what's going on with certain stocks for their index, right?
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it.
Okay, so the CLOV filing is on the CLOV website. Yeah, Juan, that's what we're kind of going over right now. So someone just alerted us to it about 10 minutes ago. We're kind of looking at it and trying to figure it out as well. But I can guarantee you this: if you subscribe to my channel, if you're not already, or subscribe to Tar Heels channel, one of us or both of us will probably be putting out a video here at some point today, kind of explaining what's going on. But still trying to consume the information a little bit, I guess is the right word. Um, all right, so just gonna get. I know it's almost 8 o'clock here. Um, Take a look around the markets and see what's going on. Um, Clover is still showing a net difference of 3.2 million borrowed shares. Um, so we'll have to see. Can you post the link? Yeah, I think I can post that link. Let's see. I mean, because you were able to click on it just fine, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right. So there's the link to the document we're talking about. Um, and then Al posted that short interest rate is 9.61%. So what he's looking at is this. I'll just show you guys. It's the Ortex data, and it's just the live update. And it was up 9.6, but now it's at 6%. So this is just live updating throughout the day. And it's all based on the number of returned
Hey,
shares, which is
coach.
here, and the number of borrowed. So right now that borrowed change went down from 5 million to 3.2. So we're looking at a 6%, kind of live increase on short. Yeah, what's up, Tario?
So Degenerate just sent me a Fintel screenshot, and it's basically a bunch of Vanguard indexes. Like it's a bunch of indexes within the index. So they have like small cap value index, extended market index, balanced index, which is a balanced weighted ratio of all their portfolio. And he said he did the math on it, and everything still adds up to the same. So
Okay.
I don't think it's anything.
Yeah. I could show you guys exactly what he's talking about right now too. So, um, let's see, insiders. Eh, I got to figure this thing out. Institutional owners. Pretty sure that's the page that he's on. Because I was looking at that the other day, but it's yeah. I'll just pull this over just so you guys could see kind of what he's at. Is this the screenshot he was showing you, where it shows all the
Yeah,
different
yeah,
Vanguard, small cap, total stock market. So I
yep,
think collectively, they own a lot more. And so you're saying that he's thinking that they just moved them.
yep.
All right. Um, so yeah, we'll have to again. I Once we hop offline, I'm sure it'll make more sense and kind of figure it out. Altrade says Vanguard just filed a 13G. It looks like they acquired almost 10 million more shares. Um, that's kind of along the same lines of what someone else had posted here in here as well. Is that they actually bought more. But again, Once we get offline, we'll kind of look at this a little bit harder and before making any like claims of exactly what happened.
Yeah, I don't see 10 million, but maybe he'd see something we don't.
Someone else had posted that they basically bought I think right here 6.4% Class A shares or 9 million, and then someone else had posted that it was a filing because they were purchasing more than 5%. So they would
Right.
kind of put them in there too. So let's see. How does the options chain look today? You know what? I didn't even look at it yet today. So let's take a look.
Man, this hour went quick.
Yeah, it did. All right. So options chain on Clove right now. This is open interest column. This is the put open interest column, and puts are way outweighing the calls until we get to the $11 strike. But then, oh, the 12 kind of evened out now. So 11 might be kind of like that. I know 11 was the max pain point that we were talking about this morning, but now that this is kind of, I know 11 is still, yeah, 11 is where we finally start to outweigh the puts, and it's by a net difference of 5,000. The $12 strike is pretty even. 13, we have a 7,000 differential, and I mean, I'd still think we kind of need to this, which can happen any day. It might even happen today. This 12 to 14 and a half numbers need to kind of be loaded up a little more in order to see some like real gamma squeeze action. But I keep saying that, and I want to make sure I'm clear in that we don't need the option chain for this stock to pop. You know, that would just help, right? I mean, it's just a combination of everything. It's not necessary, but it is good. I love kind of identifying these things because it does bring in um, an opportunity for some price action. Let's see here. Co-creator. I know I said I hit my limit. I know the stock looks down. I know there's lots of negative news and FUD, but I just want to buy more again and hold. He said, it's like I'm an idiot. Hopefully, I turn out to be a rich idiot. Nah, I wouldn't say you're an idiot at all. I think you're seeing this stock at a nice discount and you're getting in on it. So unfortunately, he said, "Are you guys going to draw some lines?" Well, that's a good intro to what I was just going to say. So I'm going to have to jump off,
Dude,
but Tar Heel is absolutely the man at drawing lines, and he'll be doing Power Hour today. So if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't subscribed already, um, you know, obviously subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying the content. You want to come on here 6 a.m. to 8. But Tar Heel, get on there and subscribe to him. He'll be going live every day this week for Power Hour. You go ahead.
and we drink. We drink on Fridays.
Yeah, stock tails on Friday.
I think
And
I think I've got a special guest on Friday. I'm not going to tell anybody who it is, but I think I might have a really special guest on Friday. Last minute.
hopefully he's not too hammered by the time
Yeah.
stock tail starts. Uh,
Yeah. All right, I'll let you sign off. I'll let you sign off. Thanks for the plug, coach. Peace and love.
all right, bro. I'll be on there watching later on
See you,
this
brother.
afternoon too, for sure.
All right, sounds good. Later.
All right, thank you, man. All right, so like I said, I gotta hop off here too. Yeah, Tar Heel's my favorite line drawer as well. Um, let's see. So yeah, so I need to sign off here just real quick. So Clove's still down 2% on the day. We are kind of, we're trading above VWAP. We're at $9 right now. We are seeing some big buys kind of coming in, so I think maybe we did see our bottom. We'll just have to wait it out, but that doesn't change my feelings on this stock. And how high it should be trading and how high it can go even without a short squeeze. So hopefully we found the bottom and we're looking to kind of reverse this trend now. It does seem like all the memes were kind of moving together in tandem for a while there. GameStop saw a similar spike, went as high as 197, now trading at 192. ATOS in that $5 range, ready to strike. If you missed out earlier, I was kind of talking about how ATOS is absolutely set up for this gamma squeeze. Nothing's changed. It actually looks a little bit stronger today, I think, than it did last week. So I'm still looking for ATOS to pop that gamma squeeze before this Friday. Space, the big loser on the day. I mean, down 11.5%, almost 12% right now. It went down and filled that gap at 41. Interesting because they did have the successful flight. So, not sure what's going on there, but it's kind of in oversold territory now. My inclination is that this thing is going to pop up and touch 60 at some point this week. But that's just a gut feeling, and I'm not invested in space right now either. So, um, looking around, BNGO down 5% on the day. AVXL basically trading flat, right around 25. Um, AMC also down 5%. And I think that's it. Anyone who's following MRIN, I have that one up over here. It hit a low of 15. It's down 11% on the day. So just another stock that I've been watching. Thank you, everybody. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Target short sellers got a message here from Antonio Costa. CLOV back over $9. Chart is curling up. Looks prime for a big bounce. Right on. So, and anybody else, I know I said go follow Tar Heel. Go follow this Target Short Sellers on YouTube and Twitter as well. He's always putting out great information. Came to us all the way from Belgium last night on the live stream. Thank you again, bro, for coming in. I appreciate it. Always amazing to get your insight. And also go follow Al Trades, go follow Dutch Trades and Sean Stocks. These are all guys that are covering CLOV and giving great information. I'm following all of them, and I think if everybody goes on and likes all their videos as well, and subscribe to them, it's just going to help spread the word, right? It's just going to help get everybody in those algorithms and help getting new investors to find CLOV. All right, that's my spiel. Thank you. I'll be back on at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining. Appreciate the support. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.